Yo,
Hey, buddy.
what's happening? Hey, buddy, what the fuck? What's wrong with you with that? Hey, buddy.
What am I supposed to say?
We're gonna go fucking play goldfish or something. Hey, buddy.
I've been playing nothing but goldfish.
This is the check-in, motherfucker. Tuesday, February 27. You come correct. What's that shit? Fucking. Hey, buddy. What's going on there, Tarzan?
That's what I always say. We have an extra day this year. That pisses you off when you work a day job. The extra day, I'm fucking pissed. We have an extra day this year. It's the 29th. We only get one every 4 years.
You calling sick? No big fucking.
No, you can't call in.
Yes, you can. It's leap year. I ain't got time. It's bad luck. Fucking, you gotta worry about it. Why are you killing me with this shit for? This is the only year we have an extra day. Ooh, you think people are jumping up and down? I got an extra day. Well,
yeah. I bet they are. Holy shit. No, I'm doing good, buddy. How are you? How was your weekend?
Tip top magoo. Was a very fucking nice weekend. You know that? I had a nice weekend with the girls, relaxing, no drama. Got on stage Thursday night as usual.
Nice. How'd it go?
And, Friday, went out to this restaurant, Char.
Okay.
Red Bank. One of the chefs trained jiu-jitsu over there. Listen, where I trained, there's two chefs, Steakhouse 85 and motherfucking Char.
What kind of food is Char?
Char is a steakhouse.
Oh, shit.
And then Steakhouse 85 is obviously a steak, lobster. But I took my wife to Red Bank. It's like 35 minutes from here. It's a whole different fucking fat man city, Lee. It's a restaurant row of fat will die. But I went to this place Friday night. Okay. It was Friday, so it was Lent. So I was a little confused when I walked in there. But then I made it work. Chef Phil fucking prepared these little yellowtail sushi tacos, little ones.
Right.
Oh, my God. And he had some lobster fucking dumplings.
Nice.
Not Chinese style, like white people style.
What are white people style?
I don't know. And then he had like, he sent over some calamari, really good. And then I was full. I was stuffed. But my wife got the short rib.
Oh, I love short rib.
Oh, gnocchi with a garlic cream sauce. Oh. And she only took 2 bites of it and brought it home. And we busted it out Saturday night. Lee, fucking amazing, that thing. I got to go back this week and get that dish. That dish with a glass of water. No bread, no fucking butter, no salad, just that dish.
That's like, because when you're eating when you're fat, like, and you look at the menu, like when you're eating when you're on a diet, it sucks. Like, you try to look for something, it's going to be okay, but it's not going to be great. Like, everything about that sounded good. Short rib, gnocchi, and the cream. Like, there's nothing better than a cream sauce.
Fucking great. My cat sucked the rest of it out of the fucking, off the dishes. That's how good it was. The cat, I need some of that shit, dog.
You put it down for the cat?
Fuck yeah.
That's nice.
My cat that girl, I love her with all my heart. She came into my life a year before my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell she really dug me. I dug her. You know, she was in a fucking house with 7 cats that wanted to kill her. And she would fucking, like, take your chances, bitches. And she used to help, it's really weird that my other cats at the time were very, what do you call that? Like, they were already home cats. Like Fidel, a mouse could pass by him and he'll go, okay. But Gray never stopped being a street cat. And I could see the differences. One set of cats were raised with a lot of love and they had, food and shit. Mm-hmm. This bitch had been fighting for her life for 3 years outside. When we got her, she had just got attacked by a possum or something. When she went into that lion's den, she knew how to maneuver them. They couldn't even deal with her. She would jump on furniture over them. She'd get to a dish and then walk right past them. There was nothing they could do. And one by one, they disappeared. And she kept hanging in there. And then once Evie passed, God rest her soul, it took her about 2 weeks to come downstairs. And now she's down here all the fucking time. I can't move my chair because I'll roll over her. So I got to look around before I even move my chair.
Fuck.
She's around here all the time, sleeps with us, fucking just ate some of my Cuban steak sandwich. You know, she doesn't give a Frenchman's fuck.
Have you thought about taking her out of the house? Would you ever bring her with you somewhere?
No, I put her on the porch. When I get sun, she sits out there with me like my fucking bodyguard.
I know.
Opens up, she gets the vitamin D. She lets the sun hit her stomach, and I'm right next to her, stoned to the gills, fucking beautiful sun.
This could be like not corny, but do you like relate to Gray? Like the way you were describing Gray made me think of you like a little bit.
Do I relate to Gray? I don't know. I just think that she's just been a great cat. She really is a great cat. You know, I told my wife the other day, I go, nobody gives me the love in this house that Gray gives me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I take a shower, Gray's there with her head in the heater. Mm-hmm. There's a vent that comes up and she'll lay on the fucking vent while I'm in the shower. I can see her from the sink. She's real close with me and I like it. I like her. You know, I like animals, man.
Yeah.
I like animals. My next venture is a dog, maybe a couple more cats to end this fucking journey. Because that's what people who get retired do. They get a dog. Now you can walk with them, go outside and feed them, take care of them, spoil them. They're like your fucking kid, you know?
Is it gonna be strange to switch from cats to dogs? Like, aren't dogs like?
No, I'm always gonna have a cat in here. This is fucking Central Jersey. I got trees all over me. I see a mouse, I'll fucking shit my pants. I'll sell the house. So there's always gonna be a cat here. If the cat dies on Tuesday, there'll be a motherfucker in here by Thursday dropping cents. Because you only have like a week before the scent disappears. Then the mice start coming. And there's field mice all around here. People tell you in winter you get field mice. I'm like, I see a field mouse, I pack my bag, I go to the fucking Hampton Inn. And the next day I get more cats than Disneyland. I put them here, and that's it, and that's that.
I feel like you're not even joking.
No,
like, are you afraid of mice?
No, but the experience I had with mice as a child made me go, I'm never going to put myself in that position again.
What happened?
When I was a kid, my fucking house in North Bergen got just with mice, these gray fucking mice. And they were everywhere. And I remember like I couldn't fucking walk in a room without turning on a light with a broom.
Fuck yeah, that would be too much.
You're a kid, that sticks with you forever. I still remember going to my attic to get like something in the attic, and they were fucking everywhere. And there was a row of just turds, like 10 feet of turds where they would walk back and forth. And I'm like, nah, I can't do this shit. This is not for me, Jack. So I'll always have a motherfucking cat in Miceville.
Dude, what do they do? Because I've never had. I'm allergic. Do they like? When is it creepy to like see a dead mouse? Like, do they bring it to you? Like, isn't that scary?
No, I don't have any hunters. They're all hunters, but they stay in the fucking house. So, but if I let Gray out, and when I had Dimmy, they would bring home shit. You know, that's how they please you, by bringing home shit. That's why when you leave, cats think you're going hunting. Because if they left, they're going hunting. So when you leave the house to go fucking, when you come back, they want to see that you're carrying shit because you're supposed to go hunting.
I had no idea.
It's a fucking different world. It's such a intricate, different world of the cat and the dog and the animal and the pet. I wish I had more time. I wish I was 18 again and I would have fucking learned how to be a fucking mountain timer, one of those fucking Siegfried and Roy type motherfuckers, how to tame a tiger and fucking, you know, sleep with him and pet his stomach. You know, I like them. And, you know, animals read you. Listen, when I was a kid, I got always attacked. I always got attacked by dogs. And at a certain age, they just stopped. I just stopped getting attacked. That means I was a rotten little motherfucker, and the dogs knew it. But once my heart got pure, once I got hair around my dick, and I got my thoughts down, then me and dogs got along. Because I didn't get bit again after I was maybe like 11.
Fuck.
But I was getting bit every 2 fucking years.
And were you like going at them, or they just out of the blue?
Yeah. I'm going up to dogs with a 2x4 and telling them, "Come on."
No, I'm not saying you're gonna hit them. I'm like, I don't know, are you rubbing them? Or...
They would walk up with a chain, whatever, and everybody would be standing around. And as the dog was pulling away, he'd come back and bite me in the ankle. I'm like, what the fuck did I even do? And that happened to me twice. A dog walked past me with his owner, and then he came back and bit me, and then went back with his Doberman Pinscher brother. I'm telling you, I had the worst. I got bit in the face in the Bronx. I got bit in the hand. It was just a fucking nightmare. And then one day I stopped getting bit. All of a sudden, dogs like me? No. I stopped having fear in front of them. That's the real truth. My fear, after you get bit 3 times, you're going to fear fucking dogs. So, you have that fear and they know it and they bully you. It's like, when you walk in a black neighborhood, they're like, hey, honky, what's going on? And, you just walk down the street.
I would love to get called honky. I did my first sort of it wasn't a black room, but the guy I was opening for this weekend was black. And so he had a mostly black audience. It was cool. It was a fun weekend.
Listen, man, in a comedy setting, brothers are the best, but you got to be funny.
Yeah.
You better be funny and you better talk when in Rome.
Okay.
And they don't mind if you talk about them to their face.
It was
with a smile on your face, you could call a black person anything.
I don't know about anything, but it was.
I've been there. You sexy bitch.
Oh, well, yeah. I thought you were saying something
Brillo pad pussy off you. That's offensive. You tell a chick you want to eat that Brillo pad pussy. That's very offensive. I used to say it to their faces, and they'd start sweating in front of me, like, "Oh my God, he's gonna eat my pussy, this white motherfucker." That's a black girl's dream, a fucking slave owner to eat their snack, you around with the hat, and can't trust it.
Oh, I didn't do that, and because I even asked the first night I did pretty well, but I have a joke that I haven't done in years about how I used to date a black girl, and I didn't know that some black girls wear wigs sometimes, and I hadn't done it in a while, and I asked the headliner about it, and he was so cool about it, and then he actually gave me a way to get into it, and the first show I did, it's funny. You said the black people are cool with it. The first show I got half laughs, half groans, and the white people were the people groaning.
Yes.
And the second show was not almost all, but a good amount black. And it was like, I've never had this happen. That joke did so well that my usual closer didn't do well. I should have closed on that one.
Yeah, but you didn't know. You didn't know. That's how, if I would ever go up and tell a story, I couldn't follow it.
Really?
If I went up there and told the hooker story or something at 20 minutes and I had 15, 20 minutes left, I couldn't follow it. If I'd said something about my mother on stage, but I found her dead, that's why when I ever did the one-man show, it wasn't going to work. After I brought my mother's death up, it just sailed along, and I couldn't put it in the beginning, which was I always really wanted to do. But that's a complete different chapter. I want to talk to you about something because there was 2 very interesting things that happened last week in comedy that really will affect comedy. Friday morning, a bunch of comics woke up from New York, and they woke up to an email that they had been canceled. Gomez, Florentine, Kurt Metzger, Dave Landau, I think. Dave Smith. And it was a club by Capitol Hill, blah, 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 And a couple people contacted me. What did you think? You were up in Seattle. What do you. And I was in Seattle 29 years ago. I was walking around Seattle in 1985, 6, 7. Basically, because I left January of 97. In 23 years, the last 20 years, a lot of areas have changed demographically. And I hate to say it, half of these cities are getting infiltrated with the people who get offended, those type of people.
Gentrified.
Yeah, with the dogs and the bullshit and the fucking, and everything is a dilemma, and Seattle has been one of those places, that the other side of town is shooting heroin and killing themselves, but the other side of town is fucking sensitive, to no end, and then, so that was Friday morning. And then Saturday, when I woke up, I was excited as a kid on Christmas
Yeah.
because I knew what was going to go down that night. I wasn't thinking about what happened Friday. I was so busy in my life with my daughter, and we had to go somewhere. I was just excited for 11:30. And I put that me and my wife watched his special because my wife had never known who Shane was. So I go, let's watch the special so you could see it.
Which one, Netflix?
Came down, and we all watched Saturday Night Live, except my wife went up about midnight. But she watched this monologue. And it was so funny. It's like, it reminded me when I used to be a thief. From the minute I knew I was robbing Lee's house, as soon as I got out of my car, I was on a complete mission to just steal. There was no, that, I think about how it affected my comedy, how it was the same mentality. Like I think about when I kidnapped Bella. When I went back to get the coke, it didn't matter to me who was there. I was getting that fucking coke.
Right.
I kicked that fucking door down like I owned it. And I went in there and I just took it out and I just got in my car and left. And I did I did maybe 10 things where I got out of the car and I knew I had a mission. Nothing was going to stop me. I don't care if you had 10 locks on your door. I was taking your dog off the hinges. And then I would go in, and even though you thought you hid the coke or the money, I got it. That's just the way it was. And I'd walk out of there like I'd own it. And people from the area would look at the door like, you just busted that dude's door and walked in there and walked out. It didn't even matter to me because if I ran out of there, then I would get their attention. But I walked out like I was walking my dog, like I was looking for Lulu.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to go deaf. That's what the whole point of this fucking.
You're like locked in.
Yeah, when you get locked in, you go deaf. You go deaf. Your ears ring. Whenever I would do something bad, my ears would ring. Whenever I get excited, my ears would ring. Saturday night, 11:30, my ears were ringing.
Wow.
Because I was so excited for Shane because I knew what he was going to do. Listen, you know, I don't know. My wife just told me this morning that there was a lot of people bad-mouthing his set and this and that. It really doesn't matter. You know what the fucking bottom line is? SNL had the highest ratings they had Saturday night for the last 20 years.
Definitely.
And everybody saw what I saw, that Shane was heads and tails above those people on that cast. Whatever anybody wants to say, that was real comedy. That was somebody who started in Philadelphia and worked himself in fucking shithole rooms and PA and wherever the fuck they go around here, the fucking train. It's, you know, no picnic. And they fired him because he said some shit on a podcast. It's us cracking jokes. But, you know, people can't let nothing be with this in this world. You get a job tomorrow, Lee, they're going to bring up clips from the church.
Oh, yeah.
15 years from now. You fainting and dosing poor Owen Benjamin, you know, the whole thing. You were part of a fucking cynical world. We were dosing people. It doesn't matter. They're always going to find a way to take you down now. You know, they fucking took his job away. This kid didn't hide. He fucking went and shot a special in Austin.
Yeah.
And from there, the gravy train didn't stop. He knew exactly what to do. And nobody could tell him he was canceled or nothing. It went in one ear and went out the other. We're comics. We don't need the fucking system at all. We use the system because we think we don't need the system. When you first got into comedy, you got into comedy because there was a guy with a fucking brick wall and a microphone. It wasn't because fucking Adam Sandler did 2,000 movies. And that's why you're getting into stand-up and tell me you want to be a tour manager, you know, you want to do world tours. No, you're not. Because in the meanwhile, you want to be Adam Sandler. And I'm not mad at you. But there's a guy that went up there and, you know, his jokes weren't, I mean, to me, I was dying.
He was great.
I love when people push a joke and then they believe in it. Whether you laugh or not, they're laughing. That burns people. People get, especially the people in that room.
Oh, yeah, the band behind him was pissed.
The band and the poor gay Chinese guy with the fucking, you know, every time Chappelle went on, let's see where Yang is. This guy went on. Let's see. Who gives a fuck? We're comics. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck has been forgotten? What has been forgotten? What has happened to not only comedy, television, the last 5, 6 fucking years? Everybody's had ammunition out for you can't do nothing. Poor Joey Coy a month ago, fucking, went up there. Oh my God, for 2 weeks they dragged him in the mud. Little did they know he was about to sell out the Forum 2 nights in a row. And all that fucking publicity made him sell 2,000 more fucking tickets, or 10,000 in his fucking world. So, these people love every time they point a finger, they haven't learned from Andrew Dice Clay. They never learned.
What's that?
You don't like Lee? You don't like Joey Diaz? Shut the fuck up. If you know they're going to be on a show, don't watch it. But for you to watch it and then fucking say how they ruined the show. Listen, I've always believed one thing, and I'll state it right now whether anybody gets mad or gives a fuck. There's the Improv in LA, there's the Laugh Factory, and there's the Comedy Store. And I truly believe this. The Improv is a great company. They're a great company. I love working Melrose and across there. They made me who I am today, the Improvs. I'm not going to lie to you. I worked a lot of their rooms. The Laugh Factory was great to me. I always liked Jamie. When I first moved to LA, I went in there and did fucking Monday nights every Monday, 20 minutes, $25. That was $100 a month. That was big in my world when I walked into Jamie's. But I always believed one thing. I don't know if I ever said this or not. I don't give a fuck. When you pass through the Comedy Store, not on a Tuesday night, they do the belly room with Lulu the Magician. I'm talking about when you're in the original room banging it out with these fucking animals, and you're in the main room banging it out with the fucking animals. And again, I say the main room loosely because my first 7 years in the main room, my percentages were 10% of doing well in that. I would bomb just on nerves and whoever was in front of me or whatever. But I'm going to tell you what I believed then, what I believe now. It made me a comedy Marine. And the people who were in there at the time when I was in there were comedy Marines. What does that mean? We go in when nobody else could fix it. Okay? They send the Navy in, they send the fucking Army in, they send the fucking Air Force in. But now we need some fucking grunts. Grunts who know how to work for laughter. They're not the best looking guys. You're not going to get no fucking hosts out of there. America's Funniest Videos was 30 years ago with Bob Saget. It's not going to be pretty and it's not going to be clean, but they're going to give you 100%. And I know this because just being at the store would make me go on sets and it would make me feel the same way. I got to show these motherfuckers who I am. It got you in that mindset. And that's how I've always felt about it, whether people agree with me or they fucking don't. Look at the people that came out of the store. Look at the people before me that came out of the store, from Hicks to Kennison to Dice. Just that combination right there tells you that Comedy Store was developed for savages like myself. People who don't give a fuck. People that either they could have been a comedian, a criminal in a prison, or a mental patient. That's the 3 outlooks of people like me. But I knew that going in. So,
and what was the most likely one?
Suck my dick and call me shorty. I was born in 1940. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it.
And how does this make you relate to Shane?
When I saw Shane on Saturday night on an American fucking stage, the biggest fucking television show on a Saturday, it reminded me that he was bringing comedy back single-handedly. He reminded everybody what I already fucking knew. Listen, man, I loved that I joined jiu-jitsu 10 years ago. And I fucked around with it, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was scared. And the bottom line it was very hard. It was very hard. And Lee, I do everything. I would fucking lift weights. You were right there with me. And it's hard work. And that's why I stuck to it, because it reminds you of whenever somebody says to me, well, he's got a Taekwondo background or boxing background. When they say jiu-jitsu, and he's got 2 stripes on his black belt, that's a 6-year black belt or whatever the fuck it is, right? This guy's worked for that. I could see that guy in a gym on a Saturday with the windows fogged up, and fucking he's in there wrestling on puddles of fucking sweat. I know what it takes to do that. I always loved my comedy career because I saw too many people that went to Montreal, got a big deal, came to LA and ate a bag of dicks and then never saw them again. And then afterward, then it became the YouTube people and all these people that I love when people just go do stand-up and they think they're going to go out there and do it. Listen, you're going to get some laughs. But the 20 years I put in, with 30, I started hitting when I was 50. The 20 years I put in before I hit, that alone would have killed most people.
Right.
Because it just wasn't stand up and I had checks coming to me. It was stand up with a divorce and anger issues and fucking being broke. And it was a ton of shit that I couldn't do without stand up. Stand up was the only beacon in this fucking death that I was creating for myself. But I know one thing, like that's why when I do videos or when I'm on a set, I take pride that I'm fucking good at what I'm doing. They don't have to tell me twice. You don't even have to tell me. You don't even have to tell me. I'll be there without you telling me. And I got that from being at that store. But it was because I would look at the people that rocked the house in front of me before that. David Letterman was the store guy. Bob Saget, God rest his soul, was the store guy. Jim Carrey. I fucking loved that. And every time, as a comic, every time I walked in there, I felt like I was in a church. It was my church, It
was, and I think it came out right as we left LA, but that store documentary on Showtime was fucking awesome.
It was very good. It was very, I'm just happy they highlighted the store. They let people know what was really going on there. But listen, that's every comedy club that you've ever worked at. Every comedy club has their highs and their lows, and then a star comes out of there. Somebody goes to LA and makes it big, and, it's such a fucking great feeling. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that a lot of people learned something from Saturday night. These fucking critics and these internet critics and all these people who think they have the right to, well, Shane's joke failed miserably in a fucking room. You weren't even in the fucking room, bitch.
And it didn't sound like it was like it sounded like, unless they like did something, but it sounded great. And then
it didn't matter, dog. He made his fucking point. And some of the sketches he was in was a little. When my wife went upstairs, the only fucking problem I had was later on, it got a little raunchy, and my daughter was still up with me. And I was hoping that the 12 o'clock Honeymooners episode was good, but the fucking 12:30 wasn't. So I couldn't keep it there. So I had no choice but to go back to fucking
Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live. But that was the only complaint I had when they fucked the plastic doll or something. Her little head looked like, it looked like it was going to blow the fuck up.
Oh my God. I would have no idea what to do with that at 11. But I only made it, I made it through a couple of the sketches. I thought we watched the monologue at the club, which was great. And it was killing in the room. But like as a young comic, what I take from it is like, I'm sure Shane would have done great if they got to be on SNL, but I don't even think he can argue that his career is 1,000 times better than it would have been.
Better, without no communism in it. Without having somebody looking over you. You get drunk in New York, NBC gets a call. No, I don't want that. I'm as free as a bird. And when comedians realize that, listen, man, Eddie Griffin told me the greatest story of all time, the greatest thing. He said, you got into comedy not to have a job.
Yeah. And Shane, I don't know if you saw, but they announced he has a TV show today and another special.
Yeah. That's it. Game one. It's over. All the people who, he hates. Listen, I've always told you something. Money talks and bullshit walks. Money talks and bullshit walks. Now, what I hope is this shows the country that edgy comics could be mainstream. And some of the comics that they don't want to use for TV and they don't want to use in projects, one of the reasons they don't want to use them is because they'll outshine their fucking people. And that's not good when you come to me and you're fucking little bummy, greasy. Listen, I've always said it. I did the podcast 2 years ago and I spoke about it. Comics have been removed from the biggest forum. There's 500 channels. When you turn on cable, how many fucking cable channels are there?
A million.
A million. And there's 30 comics working. And I mean guys that are raw, guys that are funnier than half these fucking Harvey Homo types they put on TV to fucking soothe white America. It's got to end. Listen, man, I don't know if you remember this. This is a good story for the people at home and young comics. One of the best clubs in the country is Wise Guys Comedy Club.
Mm-hmm.
The one in Utah is one of my favorite clubs in the country. If I was touring, I would still be going there. If I had to pick my 10 favorite clubs, I would still be going there. The guy that owns it's a great guy. I've known him since the late 90s on Tribble tours. That guy's busted his ass. I think he's got 4 rooms now. I think he's got 2 in Utah and 1 in Vegas. He opened.
I think he might have 2 in Vegas, to be honest.
Yeah, 2 in Vegas. The guy's doing great. You know, I asked my agent when I first got to CAA, I go, what's going on with that club in Utah? And he goes, I talk to that guy from time to time. He's just a little scared. You know, last time he put somebody dirty in there, the Chamber of Commerce got a bunch of letters and all this shit. And he's always been a little touchy. You know, he does good with magicians and people with tambourines and shit like that. And I remember driving through Utah and seeing that club. I don't know for what. I think it was me and Rogan for some commercial. I don't know. And I was like, that's a nice fucking club. And I told my agent to call him. He'll call this motherfucker and tell him this podcast has changed the game. People want to hear these motherfuckers. The people that Comedy Central's pushing, nobody wants to hear them.
Right.
There was a handful of comics that needed to get the fuck out there. And I hate to say this, I was one of them.
What do you mean?
They needed to get out there. That was their time now. You could stop fucking selling your fucking boring ass people. There's a whole list of comics that are doing podcasts that are starting to come up in a different way. They're starting to open up their lives, something that's never been done before, talk about their addictions, going to prison, their fears. It's a different type of comic coming up now. We were doing podcasts, and all those guys in our neighborhood, from Ari to Brian to Bert to Tom, that was early 2012, Lee, 2013.
Yeah.
Like 2014, we were rocking and fucking rolling for us, for who we were. It was the Rogan satellite hemisphere. We had Mark Maron fucking throwing heat. Mark's still throwing heat, you know, and there was a bunch of young comics coming up. Our podcast was coming up. Ari's was coming up. Red Bands was coming up. Ice House Chronicles were coming up.
Yeah, those were fun days.
And it was a fun period. It was a very fun period. And we grew like no other fucking group of comics ever. That was a spectacular fucking growth, you know?
As a fan, it was fun. Like, I remember, like, those Ice House Chronicles, and then, like, the early Rogan. Like, that's how I found you, was early Rogan. And then, like, early, even all of your guys' podcasts, because you guys would just, you know, you were guests on it, but, like, not, like, there was, every story was new, and there was never anything like it. So, like, I would love to know more about, as a comic, what it was like. What did it feel like back then?
It was great that my agent was called. Now, 2012, I started in 91.
Mm-hmm.
So how many years am I in the game now? In 2000, well, when was Mercy born?
2021.
So 21 years I'm in the game. And I'm telling this guy signs me I did a bunch of one-nighters. I think you came with me with Felicia at the Cobbs. We did a bunch of one-nighters, me and Felicia. And I sold out Cobbs. And I'm like, and then I went out there and bombed. But it was podcast people. They wanted to hear the wig story, drug stories. This is way back. And I still remember my agent. I'm telling them, call this guy, like to bust people's balls that didn't like me. And it was still like, nah, we don't know. We don't know. Last time he was here, he fucking did this. He hasn't been here in 15 years, but last time he was here, he did this. And there was always some fucking pushback. And then the guy would hear something. The guy would hear from another club owner. Duncan Trussell was here, and he sold out the whole fucking weekend. Something's going on with those guys. And then I started, like they started, but the money was real low.
Okay.
And then, like, I would go in there, sell 200 tickets a night, 5 nights. That's a lot of tickets when you can't sell a fucking ticket. 1,000 tickets on a weekend? It's a lot of tickets, even though you didn't sell out a show. The room was $250.
Whenever it was, let's just say 2010. How many tickets were you selling a weekend?
18.
That's a big difference.
18. And that was after the Longest Yard. So don't believe the fucking hype. The Longest Yard just let them know. 2010, I got married in 2009. I was already thinking of bailing. And then I think 2010 is when Felicia came along. And we started the podcast. It went for about 3 months and nobody knew nothing. We couldn't get a sponsor. And then I told the story about mugging the hooker and lighting her wig on fire. And I booked Sal's Comedy Hole on 10/10/2010. And it's Sunday night. It's 6:45. The show starts at 8. And I'm on the 101 South. I'm 8 minutes away. And my phone's ringing. And he's telling me to hurry up down there because we got a line around the corner. And I'm like, just fucking tell me that, don't tell me there's a line around the corner. He goes, no, we sold 150 tickets. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, I'm telling you, man, there's a bunch of people down here. And I went down and I was in shock and I ate a bag of dicks.
Because
I bombed badly. Badly.
What happened? Were you nervous?
I really wasn't. Listen, at that time, my podcasting was way ahead of my stand-up. I had brushed off stand-up. I was only doing stand-up on the weekends at the Ha-Ha with D'Agostino.
Yeah, that's when we met. Yeah.
He was 20 years old, 21. And I was going over there on Fridays and Saturdays. Remember when I took you down in the hookah with the black eye or something, tried to hit on you?
Bandage on her head. Yeah.
A bandage on her head. Only fucking Lee Syatt. So
you left me.
I did. I wanted you to put them on three's a fucking crowd. You get the memo, cocksucker?
But don't leave me with a woman with a bandage on her head.
Don't. Yeah, that's what I do. Try to hit on the chick. She's a young hooker. She wanted to suck your little dick.
But I didn't even know she was a hooker. I thought I didn't know she was a hooker at the time.
Didn't you smell her neck? She smelled like you with the hummus.
I didn't know I wouldn't smell her neck. Who smells someone? You go to jail for smelling someone's neck. What are you talking about? Even a hooker, you can't. Oh my God! But yeah, this woman. I guess since we're telling it, it was like right after I met you, because when we first started, I would just come meet you at the Ha-Ha.
Yeah,
we'd sit outside. You eat a box or two of Mike and Ike's, and you would smoke like a puff out of one cigarette and then throw it away. And then, but we would just sit on like the furniture and just talk. And then one night, this woman came stumbling up Lancashire, which is like not Skid Row, but like the Skid Row of the Valley. Like it was creepy up there sometimes.
That time it was very creepy.
And there was a woman with a bandage on her head, and I guess she was a hooker. I just thought she was a crazy person with a band, and she was just talking crazy. She just got out of the hospital, and then we were just sitting there talking. I'm probably 24, 23, and I don't know if you've even given me an edible yet. I think maybe we'd smoked bong heads. I'm just so naive.
I didn't want to throw you to the wolves. I didn't want you to
Well,
pack your
yeah,
bags and go
but
home.
then you leave me 6 months into LA with a woman with a bandage on her head,
Well,
and she starts talking about, you want to go see a movie, you want to go, and I was like, I don't
Yeah,
want to bring it.
that's what people do. Yeah. Listen, if it was a faggot with a big dick, I wouldn't have left you. It was a woman with a bandage on her head. What do you want from me? You know what I'm saying?
Give me a heads up that
I
I
didn't know
shouldn't. I went to get a drink with her. I didn't know she was a hooker. She kept saying
how much
about
did
things.
she ask you for?
I don't remember the money, but she said what happened was, and I can't believe I did it because you would think I'd pay for it, but we went to that bar. I think it was called Skinny's across the street.
Across the street.
She got a glass of wine. I got one drink, and she asked me to dance, and I've danced one entire time with her. I don't dance at a bar, especially not back then. And she leaned in and she's like, I'll make you feel like the sexiest man alive. And I was chubby, like I was always chubby. And I was like, I don't pay for, like, and I walked out and I paid that. I didn't even look at her. Like when you were talking about being in the zone, I was in the zone. I was running out of that bar because I was like, just the fact that she asked me that, I was like, the cops are here.
I would have gone to the ATM if I was you and just paid her just for the story. See if she had a bandage on her ass.
What, the first time I got herpes? What do you mean? What kind of story? She had a bandage on her head.
So what? That's the story. Whoever came to you and said, I just banged a chick who had a bandage on her head. She just
I
escaped.
don't want that to be my story.
She escaped from the mental hospital. You could have taken her right to that little. She probably lived at that fucking hotel on the corner down the block. You know, what people don't understand is we lived in North Hollywood and Studio City. And it was always supposed to be nice on this fucking inside, on the outside. But the inside of it, dog, I used to see one of my first months in the Valley. I was driving down Lancashire and I see a chick with a robe with fucking flip-flops running down Lancashire. And 2 minutes later, I see some Mexican guy chasing her from the hotel. She robbed him. She was a hooker.
Oh, Jesus.
And she robbed him. And I'm like, you know, now I know he's going to kill her, but I know, I know she's pick up, you know, I know she's going to pick up a prostitution charge and a theft charge. So I ain't a crime stopper. So I just said a prayer for her and kept driving. Usually I see a chick getting chased. I try to hit the guy with the car or something, block him off. But I knew she had the wallet in her hand. She was running down the street. It had to be fucking 7:15 in the morning, Lee.
Dude,
and, you know, because of my experiences in New York City and other cities lurking at night, I know shit happens at 6 in the morning. So here I am on the up and up. I don't know. I think I was going to get blood. And all of a sudden, it's a beautiful day to be alive. And a chick comes running past me with flip-flops and a robe. And not 2 minutes later, Pancho V is chasing her with a knife and fucking.
And you just kept going, went to get blood taken?
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. I just imagined you would use it as like a
saber. All of a sudden, I got a cape in my car. I don't know where that Mexican guy came from. I don't know. Maybe he's got a knife. Maybe he's got 2 knives. Maybe he don't like Cuban people. But I ain't gonna find out. They were playing in a hooker hotel, and they get what they deserve. You understand?
They're playing in one.
What is it, Judge Joey? And I'm fucking making decisions of what goes on in the hooker hotel.
Yeah, dude. I lived on my second apartment in LA was Sherman Way and Sepulveda. For people, it's like deep, deep, deep in the valley. And I would drive down Sepulveda to go to work. And at like 7 in the morning, it looked like Grand Theft Auto hookers. It was like people, like I'd never seen a hooker on the street before.
I never saw them up there in that other street.
They were always on that street every morning.
I didn't go up there except to fucking bring my car to service. So, you know.
It was every morning, and it was crazy. And then one time, when they pulled up to a gas station, I think to get condoms or something, like a dude who looked like me with a hooker, and like the LA is full. I can't imagine what it's like now.
It's funny, we weren't into that world. Thank God. You know, where we were.
No.
First of all, you gotta let people know the Valley is the capital of porn.
Mm-hmm.
It's where they make fucking porn. And then it's also the capital of the massage parlors.
Right.
And we were surrounded with massage parlors. Now, I'm naive at times. I was naive, but when I first got into comedy, maybe 95. I was doing the road and I was coming back from Michigan. And from driving, my shoulder really hurt, from all those years of shooting baskets. And I kept seeing massage on the drive back. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to check to a hotel, but I'm going to go get a massage first. Like I had driven like 11 hours or something. And I remember I checked into the hotel. It was like a fucking nothing exciting, And then I went and got something to eat, and then I went to the massage parlor. And I remember when I walked in the door, there was incense burning. There was Chinese music burning. And I'm like, okay. Chinese music was on. And I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, some girl comes out that was Chinese, no Americanized, very cute. Very cute. If I was 30-something, she had to be 29 or something. And she's asking me what I want. I go, my shoulder, That's it. That's all I wanted, for somebody to rub up my shoulder, maybe balance me out. They put me in the back room. They're going to get naked and get on the table. And I'm already like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I'm not getting fucking naked. So, I thought it was going to be her. Dog, they sent in this fucking Asian chick that had to be 55. Hair was all fucked up. She still had noodles in her teeth. Smelled like fucking soy sauce. She was like the cook. And she came in there. She didn't even massage me. She's like, listen, and then $40 hand job. And I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, $40 for a fucking hand job? You got some fucking nerve. I go, that's it? 40 for a fucking sucky-fucky? No. Hand job. Listen, I wouldn't have paid for the fucking sucky-fucky. I didn't have the money. I was just picking up $350 and I had to drive back. But I remember going, like, I got to go. Like, I just put my shit on and ran out of there. $40 for a hand job? Are you fucking crazy? You can do that yourself.
Right.
I'm going to put that soy sauce hand on my dick and fucking make my dick salty. God knows if you ever had a manicure or a fucking pedicure or whatever the fuck they do back there. And that's when I knew. I didn't know those fucking things were hand job play. People told me about those places around here, happy endings. Dog, the last thing I ever want is a fucking hand job. And can you imagine laying there getting a hand job and the cops come in there? How bad would you feel? How embarrassed would you feel for your family? But on top of that, I just don't want a fucking hand job. I don't ever want a fucking hand job. If you're going to sell me on anything, don't sell me on a fucking hand job. You got to be a lot more creative. You got to go for the guts with Uncle Joey. Fucking hand job.
How would you be creative with sex? There's like 3 things you could do.
Tell me you're going to blow an arrow up my ass with fire on it and suck it out of my dick. I don't know. Stun me a little bit. I'll suck your dick so much, you'll fucking, your eyes will pop out of your head. Show me like an eye patch and go, I have a lot of them, because every time I suck a guy's dick out, he loses an eye. But it's worth it. You'll have one eye, that's a sales thing. I want to lose an eye.
Have you seen like the streets in Thailand?
No.
Oh, dude, that's what they do there.
No, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go
I'm
there.
not saying you're going to go to Thailand.
I'm saying with a fucking beautiful 18-year-old chick, and next thing you wake up and she's got a wig on, and she's got a bigger dick than fucking you, and she's doing bad things to you, and there's a little kid in the corner playing the drums, and there's a white dude with a camera. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we're ever doing SNL.
Whenever people tell me they're going to Thailand, I get a little weary. Like all of a sudden I smell like tears and perversions and God knows what. Because, even if you're in a room with 3 chicks, there's got to be some fat fucking guy like me in a room 2 doors down with 2 5-year-olds playing ping pong naked. That's not what I want to fucking see. I don't even want to be in that building. I don't want to be around. What? I don't even want to be in that building. Of course not. I don't want to be around when Mike the Archangel comes around and just shoots lasers in those motherfuckers. I don't have time for that nastiness.
Right. I don't want that either. But if they had like the prostitution is a part of what like there's big, and they have videos of like women going like being aggressive like that. But no, that does sound pretty awful.
You watch those videos, Lee? You got fucking problems.
No, I don't look for it.
I know you don't look for it, but you still watch them and shit. That's disturbing.
Yeah, there's some disturbing shit on the
Half
internet.
those women are fucking whatever. They either stitch a dick on, they don't even use a strap on. They just wait till one of their comrades goes down and they just cut it off and stick it on like a pogo stick and take their chances.
Do you ever watch porn?
No.
Because I can't believe I'm going to tell you this.
I'm too old.
Okay.
And I don't know. Lee, I have one Playboy magazine in my house. I have one disgusting magazine in my house. And it's the one with Hollywood Henderson. The story of Hollywood Henderson. Sergio Ortega sent that to me, 15 years ago.
Right, I remember that.
I'm not into any of that shit. At all. At all. I don't know why. Listen, and again, I like looking at a chick's hairy asshole. I like looking at titties and all this shit. That's what we do.
Right.
Dog, I love women. I fucking love women. Love them. Love everything about them. Everything. They all make me laugh in different ways, different sizes. They all have some type of something that you want. But I can't be in those places. They make me feel like if I'm in a strip club, I feel like fucking. I went to dinner Friday night.
Okay. And
the table 2 down from me were 4 guys, anywhere from 40 to 45, expensive watches, these fucking suits that they all look tailored and they're all the same.
Right.
Plaid, and they all had the brown shoes on. And they're all dolled up. It's just 4 guys. And they're in there doing whatever they do, being a little loud. They wanted people to look at them. I understand. But after a couple minutes, I'm like, what are these 4 fucking idiots doing here? And you know what I thought it reminded me of? When I used to do comedy at the Diamond Cabaret.
What was that?
Cabaret is a strip club in Denver.
And
when they first opened in 95, they used to have comics come down on Monday night or something. And I always noticed one thing. Like, I was very fortunate. They hired me, and then they give me a steak. And I would eat the steak on the fucking rail. I would eat the steak in a table farthest from the stage. But there was these idiots that would get their fucking 20 ounce with a baked potato, and the place was gorgeous. And they'd sit there in their fucking suits and they'd eat. And when the girls would come over, they would go, no, we're here for business. I'll go over there and I'll throw this chair over your head. Why are you doing that to this girl? She's fucking beautiful. I mean, this Diamond Cabaret had CU students, Denver. I mean, they had the baddest motherfucking girls you ever saw in your life. That place and the other place across town, Choku Charlie's in Alaska. But there's a place in Denver that it's known. And that Diamond Cabaret. But I saw 20 of those guys. And every time I go there, like once a month until I left, they were always there. Not the same dudes, but the same act. We're here for business. Then why the fuck are you sitting on the railing? And why are you making believe? And then the girls would come over and sit on their lap and he would flirt with her and they'd talk about a boat deal. Why would you say that in front of these fucking girls? All 4 fucking dickless dudes, right?
Right.
Just tell the girl, listen, I got what boat? What boat? I got 2 G's in my pocket. Let's go in the private room and let me suck champagne out of your fucking monkey or your titties. Or that's it. But they sit there like trying to impress them. And it's so weird. That shit drives me fucking crazy when guys get dressed up to go to a strip club, but they're there on business. I want to see the guy that's got, as he's walking in, you can see a little puddle in his pants. Like he already came just thinking about him. When he walked in, he smelt the fucking, that Greek pussy in the air, and he gave him that ID. He had a little jizz on his fucking pants.
But you don't.
I'm sorry. What happened?
But you don't like strip clubs.
Listen, I just told you, I love women. I love to see naked women. I love to see women in heels, not those plastic strip club heels. They make me feel like the women don't wash their feet, and it drives me crazy. Whenever I go to a strip club, I always worry about the women's feet because they wear those leather boots up to their fucking above their knees.
Right.
I know as a kid, if I dressed up like Batman and I had my boots on and I took off my little fucking boots,
Right.
that calf and that foot would stink for fucking 10 days. So while I'm there watching them dance, I'm like, what if she takes that boot off? And I'm dead. Like, I'm fucking dead. So I don't like none of those dress up places. Come out with heels. I want to check you out. I want to make sure you got no lice. Come out with heels and fucking the bikini on. I don't want to see nothing else. You want to dress like Catwoman, do that on your time.
Why are you worried about it? You think that her feet are going to smell?
I don't know. Listen, after I smell my own feet, I don't trust nobody no more. You understand me? I looked at my foot today in jiu-jitsu. It's like the fungi toenail grows every fucking day in a different direction. Tonight, I finish here. I got to go out there and watch the fucking game and cut my fucking toenail tonight. Unbelievable. So I always feel that everybody else's feet
are going to be fucked up.
It's not my feet that smell. It's the fungi toenail mixed with the fucking, But anyway, back to naked women. I love them. The problem, I just don't want to go to a fucking strip club.
I get it. But it's where do you see it if you're not looking at porn?
In my mind.
Okay, that's where you just go back and
I don't need to look at that shit.
Right.
Every goddamn day. I'm okay with a bikini shot from time to time. I'm 61. What's the fantasy about now? That I'm going to show up at their house and show them my balls and they're gonna promise to say, ooh, it's beautiful. No, you just fucking shattered my hopes and dreams. Because you saw my dick at 61, you're not going to get married now. I would never do that to anybody, Lee. I'm not that type of person.
You think they just give up if they saw your dick right now?
They do something. Any woman, any 22-year-old, any 30-year-old that saw a 60-year-old dick and balls, that's not good for them. That's not good for them.
What happens when you turn 60?
It's when I turned 50. I smelled the odors. I saw what the balls look like. It's a different game. You have drippage off your little turtleneck.
What?
Because for years, if pee came out of my hole, it would get caught in the turtleneck, and I would drain it like a Masamadi bag. Those people that bag on their shit.
A colostomy bag.
Yeah, colostomy bag. But then as I got older, I don't know, the rubber band in the turtleneck, something happened to it. So, life changes.
Fuck. That's terrifying. But speaking, I didn't want to forget. But you were talking about like Seattle earlier. You sent me a pretty cool picture this weekend. Yes,
I did. Put it up.
Let's put it up.
Oh shit.
Dude, I can't I guess maybe on a bigger screen it's a little bit more noticeable. But like when you sent me that, I was like, oh shit, Rita O looked good.
Rita O was the original. What everybody's trying to be today and be a fake about, Rita O did it in 1960. Rita O was Japanese and Irish.
Oh, okay.
She was born a man, and she decided to have the operation, dick, tits, the whole thing. She changed the hairline. She did that. Put the picture back up. I get emotional when I look at her. She changed everything. And yeah, it fucked her up. She was like 4'9".
Really?
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus, Joey.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, no, of course I heard it. Your neighbors heard it.
She was like 4'9", and she used to wear heels, and she got dolled up every night of the fucking week. She had to. Look at her. She looks like fucking God knows what. She looks like, I don't even know. But she was a sweet woman. I loved her. I ain't gonna lie to you. I fucking loved her. She made me laugh harder than a lot of fucking people on the natural. The night we got coked up and she got thrown out of the club for being dirty in Seattle. And she goes, I'm going to report them. And I go, call the White House. And this bitch did.
What?
She kept calling the White House over and over. I want to talk to the president. At 4 a.m, coked out of her mind.
Holy shit.
And, we just had a blast. She died because she was a man and she became a woman. But like, you see the side of her head? In the picture, it looks small, but that's a big fucking watermelon. And she was 4'9", so that's a big head to have on that little frame.
Right.
And she would fall like Willy Wonka. What's those things?
Weebles?
She would fall like a weeble
Oh.
in the weirdest places. And then she fell like 3 times in 2 years on her head. She was on a speaker at a gay club up in Capitol Hill, jumping up and down, and she fell off the speaker. She was buck wild. She was
telling she would still get on the speaker? Why would she get on the speaker?
Listen, because they're fucking out of their minds. But I loved her. She gave me my first money to get headshots.
Oh, that's nice.
In Seattle. Was she a good comic? She had more balls than half the people today because, like I said, she was working from a different place. She was working from being real. She cut her dick off. She wasn't one of these guys that was still walking around slinging dick and fucking assholes and, So I don't know what the rules are and stuff, but I loved Rita O. Rita O opened up my world to, she told me about her world and she told me how much she suffered. And she was like on fucking 22 medications because of what came with the surgery.
Really?
When you go to the doctor and you go to the pharmacy, you come home with 1 container of 20 pills. Think of coming home with 30 containers. When she'd go to the pharmacy and come back on the first or the second, it was like a fucking grocery bag, guys.
And this was what year? 93, 94?
96. I met her in 95. We would be at the open mics on Monday, and we would steal her nachos.
Oh, yeah.
She would lose her mind. Put them down.
It's because she must have been one of the first people to have the surgery.
It's really weird because I see her and I'm at peace when I saw that picture, and I'll tell you why. Because she was sick of being an open micer and all she wanted to do was do a gig with somebody. And I would take her to be my opener, even though I knew there was going to be drama. Even though she was going to curse somebody out, it made me laugh my ass off. I didn't give a fuck if they wouldn't bring me back. I mean, these one-nighter bars, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't like Madison Square Garden or the Improv. So I would bring her. They'd give her like $25. And dog, just to see people's reaction. I would bring her to watch her and I would learn. I would watch the audience. And then she would have a joke that she really cut her dick off and it's in a jar. And it was. This chick was great. This guy, this God rest his or her soul. That's all I want to fucking say. I'm very sorry too. All right, you can bring the picture down. I'm getting all sentimental and shit. Thank you, guys. I'm very sorry that we didn't talk about your sets at the Providence.
That's okay. Comedy Connection.
Comedy Connection. It's a fucking great club, is it not?
It was, dude. It was one of, and I've been lucky.
Bro, that little room is fucking fire.
Yeah, it was a fun. It's very small, and all four. The guy who I opened for, Zach Fox, was great. Sold out 4 straight shows, and so it was full. And I've done the room. The only other time I did it was probably half full, and it was still pretty fun. But sold out. Every audience was really cool, and they were young. And I hosted, which I have bombed usually hosting. I have not done well hosting, and this was my best weekend hosting. I think.
Keep doing it, and you get good at it. And now you become more of a quarterback. You see what I'm talking about? If the headliner is very clean and the feature act is dirty, you do an extra minute or two and you keep it clean so the headliner doesn't have to walk into that disaster.
Interesting.
There's so many fucking things that I was watching Ray a month ago, the last hour when that guy comes on and he was at the country, he was in Georgia or somewhere. The lights were on, and the guy came on and said, lower the lights and raise the, and at the end of the show, he goes, who did that? And he goes, I did. He goes, who told you to do it? He goes, no, it needed to be done.
Right.
That's what, anyway.
Did you ever? Because my only thing that I would be nervous of is like as a host, I'm like extra conscious of like time and not doing time between people. And I
No,
didn't mean to
no,
do it
no,
this
no, no, no.
weekend, but
Listen, man, being a host is back to rule number one of comedy that you're never going to learn after you've been doing it at least 20 years. And that's be yourself. You're never going to learn or understand what that is. I can hire a computer, right? AI is coming.
right. Oh yeah, it's here.
Okay, so I could hire a guy to go up there and do 12 minutes of material and 3 minutes of ads to the T on time. And then in between, he could just go up and go, keep it going for Paul Harvey. Don't forget, he's selling stuff after the show. All right, let's give a big round of applause for the wait staff. Don't forget to tip these girls, Louise, Melissa, Tony, Johnny the Black Dude. You're giving the room color now, right?
Right.
And then you could just go up there and go do that and go, don't forget, Joey Diaz is here May 28th and Paulie Shore is here May 25th. Or not out to the show. I can hire a fucking robot to do that.
Right.
I want you to go up there and play with them. See what's happening. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Comedy Connection. My name is Uncle Joey here. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Any parties, birthdays? And at first they'll get like a little shock, but they're East Coast people. They feel you. Boom, boom, boom. Listen, don't forget, you ever see Carlos Mencia? You ever see fucking what's his name? He's going to be here Memorial Day weekend. All right, anyway, listen, you know what happened to me last Memorial Day weekend? I did one of those fucking Xanaxes and I, whatever.
Right.
Whatever. I did an edible and I passed out. And now when you go up there, let's say this feature act bombs.
Okay.
You can't leave that fucking headliner with that. You can't just go up there and go, let's keep it going. That was a great set. And they're like, boo, we just lost credibility. Why are you lying to us? The guy just got hit with 22 tomatoes in 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? He failed the test. And then you can't just bring up the headliner.
Okay.
You give him something. And now you got that 2-minute bit that you can bounce off who's coming this weekend, what the weather, something. You got that 2-minute bit that you'll learn how to, and it's just got the party started. It's Saturday night, folks. We got one more headliner. He's tremendous. I know you all want to get out of here. You want to lick mama's monkey. That's if the headline is fucking dirty.
Okay.
The headline is clean. You got to be yourself and be funny. And this is when your own natural funny comes out. But we don't know that. Don't think that I knew that 15 years ago. I'm lying to you if I tell you I did. I learned that maybe 5 years ago looking back at things.
Right. Because I still am not playing, like, you weren't doing crowd work, but like I don't really interact as much as I should as a host.
Go out there. No, I want you to go out there and bang them. I don't want you to ask people where they're from or what they do.
No, I don't. I never do that.
Or who are you married to? What'd you eat for dinner? No. If you're going to say something to them, it's good. You tell them something. Dog, where'd you get that fucking wig from? Anyway, and you go back, whether they feel it or not. But remember, if they don't feel it, now you got to dig yourself out of 2 holes.
Right.
So your words got to be bang. And you know what? That's what this whole thing is about, is digging yourself out of holes. So just say whatever's on your mind. I got to take 2 steps to the rear and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? We've been here talking shit for how long? It's Tuesday morning. People don't want to hear this nonsense.
Love you, buddy.
I love you too. Have a great week. And now for a word from our motherfucking sponsor, Jacko. What up? Turkey neck.
Hey, buddy.
Everything
Good to see you. Turkey
me,
neck. God damn it.
Tip top fucking Magoo, ready to rock here. What are you doing?
You know what Athena's kids call me?
What?
I swear to God, mashed potato tits.
Okay, what are you gonna do? You got to turn them into hard potatoes now. You know what I'm saying? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, the 23rd, Lee. You got to get to those kettlebells again. That's it. That walking shit is good, but it doesn't, it's to get the fat off, not to, you got to start throwing some weights around. It's time.
Yeah, it's time for that.
What's the hot black chick that shakes her ass? The chick for right now, you could join for $1 and $1 for a month.
Oh, Megan the Stallion or something?
Yeah, might go see Megan, Mother Nature, Mother mother, whatever the fuck she calls herself. Go over there for $1, lift some weights, do some bench presses, do some push-ups and shit. What are
I
you
need
gonna
to
do?
do a lot more than that.
I don't have mashed potato titties, but they're sagging a little bit like I had a kid. You know, it's like a fuck, it's like a cat, but they're not pointy. At least they're not pointy. I've continued to keep some muscle under the tissue there by doing fucking slant. When I go to the gym once a week, I go to one gym, and then the other one, when I go to the other one, I do bench presses, on a fucking whatever, on an angle, and then I do them minus. And then I do pullovers just to keep everything tight, but that ain't enough. I got to go get some Mexican fucking pills or some shit like that. So I can be 220 tip top Magoo. You know what I'm saying?
You need that Swiss Chris Ali Sadiq was telling us about.
Yeah. Swiss Chris.
The thing that made you shit.
Yeah, that another fucking lunatic with another fucking suggestion. How is Nashville, Tennessee?
Fucking really cool. Like, the city itself was just like, I'm not a music person. I know that sounds weird. I don't dislike it, but it's just not something I care about. But it was just cool to see they look like they seem like me a little bit. Like they were just, doing bar shows. Some of them were doing cover. Yeah, that too. That too. Trust me, there were guys in cut off tank tops in 7-degree weather. But it was just a really fun. It was just cool that like people came to my show. Like it was like I love opening for people, but it was just really like it meant a lot that people would come and do that. And it wasn't like it was very cool for me, but it wasn't anything like glamorous we didn't sell a ton of tickets. It was like the coldest it's ever been there, and they got 8 inches of snow, but it was just so awesome.
It was for the experience. And then the question is that you got to ask yourself, when you're a comedian from 1 to 5 years, one of the things I forgot to do that you overlook is the question of what did you learn tonight? But when you get upset about bombing or having a bad set, you don't think you learned anything. But you really fucking did if you're honest with yourself. You're going to come out and tell me the microphone didn't work or the sound system, but the guy behind you got a standing ovation. Right. So you play the guy before me pulled the rabbit out of his ass. So then you got to pull 2 rabbits out of your ass. You got to outdo the guy in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, absolutely. And I thought a lot about that this weekend because like the first night was good. I had I would say B- set. People were happy. I did fine, but I noticed the second night, like the energy in the room was just better, and I fed off of it, and I need to do a better job of like creating that energy if it's not already there, which is something like I think you were very good at. It's just like making energy. Like I'm getting okay at like if it's there, I can feed off of it, but it's hard to create it.
To get energy in the beginning of a set, you got to go off your set. And you really got to pick up steam and have confidence with saying it, because if you fall flat, now you're working for minus. Right. So those first 2, that first minute, it's so weird how Kill Tony's a minute. I've been thinking about that. What can an open micer do in a minute? He could do a lot. He could do a fucking lot in a minute, because in a minute, you can make an introduction so special that when you get off, they want more. It's so fucking weird how you have to, but I didn't look at it like that then. So that's how you have to look at it. You know what? I'm going to go up there and make them want more. How do I do that? So all those little contests and little things are planned out situations. It's like going to jiu-jitsu and they say, today we're not going to roll. You're going to start with a guy in your back with a hook in, and all he has to do is close. What are you going to do from there? Work it from there. And it's called situational training, and that's the same thing in comedy. You have situational training. So Friday nights, I hate Friday fucking nights.
Really?
Yeah, for comedy.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. You got out of work at 5. You drove to your mother's. You took a shower. You got dressed. You ate something with her. You gave her the solitaire cards. You ran to Athena's. Now you have to drop Athena's 2 children off and then go do your show, right?
Okay, yeah.
Go watch this show at the Wilbur Theater. You get there at fucking 10 to 8. You walk in, you sit down, and you're huffing and you're puffing. You're huffing and you're puffing, you're trying to catch yourself. And all of a sudden, 10 minutes in, you realize, fuck, I'm fucking tired.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. It takes young guys, when I was fucking 30, I could fucking leave work at 6 and be there at 7 and you're ready to go. But people overdo themselves sometimes. And they get there and something's not right. The air's not working. There's always a lot of stuff that you can't control, but you have to go up there, summarize it, control it, and then work with what you got. Oh, you only got one fucking hand? All right, use the other hand. It is I can't break them all down because we didn't plan to have this chat, but
right.
It's just so weird. Saturday, I got the whole day to myself. I mow the lawn. When the kids are at football, I eat mama's monkey. I fucking have a few drinks. I go out to dinner with some friends. We're all in a great mood. Now we go see Lee Syatt. Bye-bye.
Oh, right. As the odd, yeah.
I got nothing to do tomorrow. I could drink a little bit. I'm staying at the hotel right down the block so I could walk. It's a better feeling. They're more loose. How many of the people that come to it, how many of the 250 people that go to a Friday show have to work Saturday morning?
Not many.
Like I would sit there sometimes on Friday early show and go out to take pictures, and I go, where the fuck are the people? They don't give a fuck about your picture. They got to go to work on Saturday.
Oh,
they got to go.
So? Oh, okay.
They got to go pick up the kid and go to work on fucking Saturday morning. They got to drop the kid off at the mother-in-law's at 7:30 because, God knows what people have on their schedule. You as a comedian, you have to entertain them to take them off that schedule. They just paid you to take them away from their life for an hour. When they get the bill for the night, it brings them back. When they drop the checks, 200. Yeah,
but it's crazy to hear you talk about that because I don't really know. Like this, like the headlining thing is completely it's foreign to me. I have no idea what to expect. I felt like I was nervous. Like my flight got canceled on Thursday because of the snow, so I was like freaking out about that. I was worried about if the show was gonna get canceled because I talked to the booker who was nice, but he was like, "Listen, man, they don't have plows down here, so like every road is ice. Like the parking lot to the venue was ice." And so, like up until the day of the show, I didn't know if the show was going to happen. It was just crazy.
You were in the same boat as the people coming to see you on Friday night.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that anyone, like, especially in like a place like Nashville, I love doing. My favorite place right now to do shows are cities where there's not much to do, because like they're fun crowds and like a lot of people show up. But like there's so much to do in Nashville. The fact that 35 people came is like amazing to me. And like it was a small venue, it was like a 50 to a 75 seat room, but it was just so cool. And like the crowd was cool. The guy who may or may not have given some like acid in the past showed up with his wife from North Hollywood.
I'll ask you something. How crazy was that when we bought a box of sugar cubes and we're putting acid on the sugar cubes in the office?
Dude, at a point there wasn't even sugar cubes. You just dropped it into my mouth.
That's right. That's right.
You had all these sugar cubes. We didn't even use them.
Oh my God. Every time I go in, the mouse will eat one.
Oh, one of the sugar cubes?
Yeah. Remember, we ended up throwing them out. We did the hit of acid like in 4 sugar cubes. Now I had 96 of them just sitting there like bumps on a log and shit.
What about all those? Because we used to get those stars, but they would give us like 6 or 7 brownies that tasted terrible, so we never ate them. And like at the end, we moved out. We had like 30 bags of like moldy brownies that were 2 years old.
Those brownies were so fucking bad, and those joints from the weed stores, we had about 100 of those. The free joints.
Oh,
it's like sandpaper. They give you all the weeds and the stems and the fucking dust on the counter. It's a fucking nightmare. Damn.
When we left.
When you said that to me the other night, I was like, liquid acid? What's he talking about? I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was just like the start of it. Dude, this guy brought like 6 different kinds of weed and some like mushrooms. And Oh yeah,
Did
I'm
you eat
like,
the mushrooms, cocksucker?
I had a little. We split them, and then I didn't want to fly home with them.
What? Why not? What's gonna happen? You put them in your
What do you
fucking
mean? What's gonna happen? Are
shaving
you
kit.
serious?
Yeah, you put them in
I'm
your shaving kit.
paranoid.
What
What?
parent?
You don't think they know about shaving kits? You don't have a lock on your shaving kit.
Oh, yes, you do. You put it on the
No, you
dirty.
don't.
You put it on the dirty underwear. I
Oh,
travel with
if
458s on me, different weed, just in case I get stuck on the island.
yeah, that's because TSA likes you. They know you.
Yes, they don't
They
know me. I
they
separate
know
from
you.
my luggage. No, they don't. No, they
Uh,
don't. You pack it up good. You cover it. You get some rolling papers, some lighters. You bring a lighter in your jacket. Even though they don't want lighters on the plane, you always bring a lighter, just in case the plane crashes. How are they going to find you? You know what I'm saying?
do
Just
they
in case.
pat you down?
Huh? Yeah, they pat you down, but
They
you put
always
the
pat
lighter
me
in your.
down.
Yeah, well, I got metal in my knee, so now it stops me to eat. And then they have metal under there. Yeah, I got a fucking metal foot. All right, stop bothering me. There's metal in my knee. I got to redo. You see the stitches? All right, let me put.
I gotta redo.
Yeah, I got to redo. You want to see the stitches?
So yeah, now that's why you can bring stuff on. You're
I
like, it's my
listen,
knee, and they.
man, I established early on that I was not going to go to a fucking town weedless. There's no way. It's too much to me. It's too much to my comedy. There's no way I'm going to a town. I used to travel into towns with no coke because I could always find a bum fucking coke dealer. But I can't count on the weed that I smoke in every state. So before we have a misunderstanding, and I do buy an ounce, and it's not what it is. And it wasn't grown in California. It was in my cousin grew it in Arizona, but it was supposed to be California. I don't want to hear that shit. I just bring the best weed with me. This week, when I went to Austin, I brought 4 different reefers with me. I
Gee,
was,
you're not nervous at all.
huh?
You don't get
No,
nervous.
no, they're for your health. You're
No,
not.
they're not. See,
What do you
you
mean?
say this stuff like you could say it to the police and they would let you go. You're like, we established that I don't go weedless. No one established that.
What do you mean?
Like
I
at
believe them.
LAX.
They don't. They're not worried about the fucking. They're not worried about
uh,
the fucking eighth of weed you bring. They're worried about the bomb in your gun and the electronic battery that might light under the fucking plane on fire. So don't ever. Those dogs. I've been next to those dogs with a pound of weed, fucking boogaloo pills, the whole thing, and those dogs will fucking wag their tail and like they want to be my buddy. They're not there for fucking reefer and for fucking boogaloo pills. They're
yeah,
there
but the one day they bring the one who is, I'm gonna be there. I get so fucking paranoid.
Nah, you'll be fine. The dog barks, just tell them, fucking, you're Jewish. Dog's been barking at you since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? German
Oh my
shepherds and
god.
Jews don't get along. That's why they
The
invented German
anti-Semitic
shepherds,
dog.
to hold the
Oh.
Jews against the wall and bark at them. And the Jews are in the corner. We'll give you my pastrami sandwich.
Oh no. Oh, speaking of, what did you think of the tunnels?
What tunnels? The one in the city?
Yeah.
They're disturbing. It's very disturbing. I heard different reports. Some people said they were storing kids down there, to
Oh god.
fucking molest them, like Epstein's Island. Some people said they were putting hookers there. They were leftover kids from fucking Epstein's Island. So they were going to put them down there and hold them out till
Oh.
they turned adults, then let them out. I don't fucking know, Lee. Just the fact that the Jews, Hasidic Jews, I love them to death, but there's some creepy motherfuckers. They live on the. They've taken over a town where I live here called Jackson.
Right.
Like on Saturdays, I just go through to see them walk the temple in a rush and shit, like they got diarrhea with those gumshoe, that detective gumshoe that they have, with that black fucking cape that they haven't washed in years, no head and shoulders, those fucking tassels, dangling fucking dust on the jacket. They're hysterical, but they're perverts. They're perverts.
Some of them.
You ever see their wives? Oh, you have to be a pervert to marry those women. They like make them marry each other or something. Because I don't know about those women. They wear those little shoes and shit like they're Dutch ladies. Well, this is Jersey. I got those Hasids in Jersey. They're not fucking around, Jack.
I was just there was just a video I saw today of like this prostitute in New York talking about that, about like a lot of her customers were Hasidic people. Not all of them, but like they like to
They
do
don't
some
even
weird
come in the
shit.
hooker's mouth. They come in a little cap and they put it right back in the head like nobody. That's why they go bald, because they got sperm on the circle of their head there.
Oh,
That's
I
that's
thought
what
that
their fruit
helped.
is. They whack off into that little cap. Ah, yeah.
Are you talking about the yarmulke, like the little small one or the
Yeah,
big one?
the little one, the
Oh,
small one.
holy shit!
They come
I
inside
had
the
no
yarmulke.
idea.
That's why you never find DNA on those motherfuckers. They come inside the yarmulke.
Oh, and then they put it on their bald head.
Yep. No, they put it on. They start with putting it on hair, but the acid from the sperm burns through the. With all that pickle juice, they ate a lot of pickle seeds. So I did show fucking Rogan the fucking crackhead toss.
Oh yeah, what did he think?
We put it on during the fucking fight
Oh,
companion.
how was your time down there?
Honestly,
Yeah,
really good.
nice,
Really
dude.
good. Except for the no fucking sleep at night without the fan. I forgot to bring my little fucking Boy Scout fan with me. And I
Holy
can't fall
shit!
asleep without that noise. And I was up both nights for like 4 or 5 in the fucking morning spinning around. But how was Austin? It was an experience. It was great to see those guys. I hadn't seen them. I hadn't seen Brendan and Eddie since the pandemic.
Wow, it's been that long.
Yeah, since we all left. They are what they are. They were the little family we had in LA, and it was great to see them. Uh, the fucking fight companion was awesome. My podcast with Joe, again, it's Friday. It's 4 PM. We're both tired.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the fight companion but I saw the clip of you guys dancing with the smelling salts.
Oh
I
my
haven't seen
God.
you. You had some moves, dude. I like were those your old
Who the
moves?
fuck you think you're dealing with? Old moves, they're new moves. I got a bunch of new moves. I get
It sounds
dance
like this
members
is a new
every.
move.
No, that's John Travolta. I had to throw it in out of respect. You know what I'm saying? It's Molestia Masseuse month. So I,
Oh,
I wanted to do a little
I thought it
shout
was
out.
dry January.
Yeah, it's dry January and fucking
Molester masseuse month.
Molestia Masseuse month. So I know Travolta's on there on a tear right now. Hey, rub this little thing under my nut. You know what I'm saying? Him and
Holy shit! But that's fun that you got to like. Do you think any of the reason you couldn't sleep is like you were just kind of like pumped up from like your 2 days? Like,
No, there was something going on because I was sweating a lot at night, even though the air was on. There was something going on. Maybe I had COVID and didn't know it.
fuck.
Maybe it's another form of COVID because, dog, the sweatshirt that I wore on Saturday night to sleep, when I woke up, it was a light hooded sweatshirt. I had no t-shirt underneath, but I don't
Okay.
want to wake up to piss in the middle of the night and it's too cold to walk to the bathroom.
Okay.
When I woke up fucking Saturday morning, you thought like I had been running a marathon for 4 hours. I put the thing in a baggie and I got home. The bag was downstairs. And when I opened it up to put it in the laundry, my wife was walking by and I go, feel this. And she was like, Joey, what happened? I go, dog, I don't know. The blanket, I mean, it was a great fucking hotel. I'm not going to name drop. Rogan takes care of you.
Yeah.
The blankets must have been those high-level thermal blankets. It was like being in a sauna. I would pee in the
Sauna.
middle, come back, and I couldn't lay in my spot. I thought I pissed the bed. I was drenched.
I hate when that fucking happens.
Drenched.
But
And you get back in the bed, and it's like you're laying on a funeral fucking, freezing to death. You're like, why the fuck am I freezing?
why not just take the sweatshirt off and leave it on the bed in case you got up?
What?
Because couldn't that be why you were sweating? Is you were wearing a sweatshirt to bed?
No, because it was cold. So I knew if I got up in the middle of the night, I was cold with the fucking sweatshirt in that room. I had the fucking air down to 60 with the fan on high. That motherfucker, dog, I was blowing smoke out of there. I thought I was in The Exorcist. It was so cold. There's a great hotel. So it went down to 60. I remember going to see the computer and I had to put a fucking jacket on to sit by the computer at night just to check something out, to see what time the airline was leaving or, You know, when you get back to the hotel, the internet would go down. I'd have to reset it. Like I'd have to log in again. And, you know, I'd freeze to death. I go like, what the fuck is this? I'm sitting there with a hooded sweatshirt and a winter jacket on. But Austin was cold anyway, Lee.
Really? Yeah, it was fucking freezing in Nashville.
It was, when I landed, it was humid. And I had a heart attack at the airport. When I walked off on that ramp, it was so fucking humid. That humidity must have gone in my lungs. I started sweating profusely. It was the humidity problem.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. It was still humid in January?
Yeah, it was like I couldn't walk the baggage claim. It was fucking a rough little walk. I had to stop and make believe I was talking on the phone. People were walking around me. What's the matter with him? I'm like, you know, so I got the baggage claim. And then on the way back, I had no problems with nothing. I only slept 2 hours on Saturday night. I left for the airport at 6:15. Got to the airport. The Salt Lake was open like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, you got barbecue for breakfast?
You bet your ass. I got 2 eggs with some brisket.
Dude, I didn't even. You sent me a picture of some barbecue you got this weekend.
Dog. Rogan took me to some place, and he ordered the ribs. I didn't order that. I couldn't eat that.
Right.
But I ordered the brisket with the smoked turkey and beans. It was fucking delicious. It's so weird. You move to like Boston, New York, and your friends tell you about this barbecue place. And you go there. And you go there and you eat it and you go, yeah, it's good, you know. Or it's like being in LA and somebody goes, Joey, you got to try this pizza. It's just like New York. And you go over there and you eat it and you're like, yeah, it's okay. And then you come here for something and you got a piece of pizza and you go, oh no. Whatever the fuck I was eating out there, I was wild confused. It's the same thing. As soon as I've been to barbecue, there's a place here my wife gets brisket from. I really like the baked beans with the burnt brisket in it.
Yeah, the burnt ends, yeah.
The burned ends. But dog, once I went down there and tasted that brisket, it wouldn't even hold on to the fork. It was crumbling. It was
I love it.
Spectacular. Remember, bad barbecue in Austin is better than good barbecue in New York. And bad pizza in New York is better than good pizza in LA. You can't fucking lose.
I'm sure Rogan didn't take you to a bad place.
Which place?
Whatever place you got barbecue this time.
Yeah, that's where he took me.
Well, I'm saying it wasn't a bad place. It was a good place.
No, it was a good place. We went to do stem cells. I shot some stem cells in my knees. I did a stem cell IV.
Did you see a difference?
Not yet. It's only been 3 days. I'm a little sore still. I hit the bag a little today, but I can't work out the whole week.
Okay.
I can walk, so I could stand in front of the bag and just throw punches and sweat a little bit, put some fucking music on and get the party started. Or I get some more of those. I don't play around with smelling salts. I don't know what they're about. I only put them in my nose when I'm about to faint, and I don't even have them at home. People put them in my nose when I pass out in the dentist office and shit like that. That's the first time I snorted out of a vitamin container. People in America are losing their fucking mind, but I guess bodybuilders use them. Strength power lifters use them.
Apparently, comedian Josh Potter does it too. When I opened for Josh, he pulled him out, and I don't know how you were sniffing it. The clip I saw had you sniffing it for like 30 seconds.
Who?
Did you just not smell it? You?
I was smelling it slowly. I could take it because when I pass out, they just don't do this to me. They put them under my nose. They put one in each nose when I pass out. When I pass out, I go deep into the murky waters. That's why I don't like fucking going and giving blood sometimes. I got to go give blood this week.
That sucks. And you pass out that they have to wake you up with smelling salts? I knew you would pass out, but I thought you would wake right back up.
It hasn't been years since they had to do the smelling salt. But
thank God.
When it was smelling salt, heavy duty. Because they gave me one time and I fainted when I smelled it. And they're like, this motherfucker's on a different level.
Wait, you fainted, they woke you up with smelling salt, and then you smelled the smelling salt and fainted again?
Again, then they put 2 of them in my nose. They were laughing when I woke up. And I remember talking to them with the smelling salts in my nose, and they were like, that is fucking crazy. I didn't know it was smelling salt. I didn't
Well,
put the two of them together.
it's just like just because of the cocaine. Like, what do you think you like doesn't affect you?
Because I fucking fainted so many times that I just got used to the smell of ammonia like that in my nose.
Fuck. Those things, like I would take like one little thing and it would like knock my head back.
The first time I did it knocked my head back, but then I got
I
used to
saw
it.
that. Yeah.
First time I did it, it was powerful. It hit my lungs. I could feel it in my nutsack tingling like fucking somebody put acid in there. But you know what, man? We had a good time. I got to
Nice.
see my friends, and now I come back and my mission is a little clearer.
Okay.
Whatever
Just
the fuck.
on what you want to do this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I know, like you did the podcast Friday, but did you think about doing stand up out there?
I was considering it for Friday night, but I didn't hear from everybody. So I was very I don't know. Friday night I was pretty fucking tired. You
Right.
know? Friday night I had just gotten up early. I didn't sleep the night before. So at 6, Eddie wasn't coming in until like 8:30. So at
Got
6,
it.
I got some Cuban food. I took an Uber to get Cuban food, which is pretty good. A place called Habana.
Okay.
And then I went back to the hotel and I started watching fucking Rambo 8. And I never heard from Eddie till about 11. And Eddie had gone to the club and he said nobody was down there. No, Tony Hinchcliffe got there late. So he came home. So I didn't feel that bad. And then Saturday, we were shooting, we went to dinner at 7 and then we shot that at 9. And we were there till 1. There's no audience at 1.
Right. Oh yeah. Especially.
So
And did you do stand up at all last week before you left?
yeah, I went down to Uncle Vinny's Wednesday night.
How did
Tomorrow
it
night I
go?
was going to go to Sam's Club, but my daughter's got tonight I was going to go to Sam's Club, but I had my daughter's got a recital at 6:30. She's playing the fucking drums.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, she's been playing them for years in the school band.
Really?
Since the 3rd grade or something. Yeah, she joined in the 3rd grade. Tomorrow she's doing the
I didn't know.
drums and the motherfucking triangle. So if you don't
Oh
know,
shit.
you know. So yeah, I'm gonna go with at 6:30. If I get out of there early and they don't want to do nothing afterward, then maybe I'll take a ride somewhere else around here. Because Sam's like an hour from here.
Yeah. Yeah, the dojo. I'm excited I'm going out there in a couple weeks. That'd be
Yeah.
really cool if you I mean
It's just an open mic. It's just an open mic, guys.
that's fine. Are you enjoying it still?
Oh yeah, it's great to do. Listen, what I'm doing, it's a plan, and if it doesn't work, then you move on to the next chapter of your life. But this is how I need to do it for right now. I'm not rushing. I'm not booking dates. None of that shit.
No, I wanted to see how it was going.
No, just keep getting on stage, having a good time, laughing, giggling, coming up with material. Like I said, the thing I missed the most wasn't the stand up, it was the creating. My mind needed to create again. I got no more stories to tell. I have to do something different. So this is the
Right.
avenue.
That's awesome, dude. I'm just happy that like you're enjoying it seems.
I didn't hear from any of those auditions last week. 3 auditions. I knew I went to the producers on one row, but I never heard from them. And again, I was sitting there today and I go, wow, that's weird. And I go, you know what? They got a better plan for me. Everything happens for a reason. I'm not going to get upset. I worked hard on those auditions. So I had to, because it was for the same people. So I had to wear 3 costumes and hide myself a little more. But what are you going to do? It just gets you better for the next time. I wouldn't have had this attitude when I first got to LA. I used to take it personal, go to the store and snort an ounce of coke. Now it's like, you didn't get it. No big deal. You watch the show, the episode sucks. You're like, thank God. They did me a fucking favor.
And like, has it ever happened like that you waited, a couple weeks, a month or two to hear back about auditions, or are they usually pretty quick?
This is like a Law and Order type show. They shoot these on a schedule. If you don't hear from them in 4 days, they went to somebody else because they start shooting 10 days. Then they take 10 days off. Those 1 hour dramas, they shoot 10 days. So, but maybe they won't call me till day 8. Who knows? Hey,
Right.
listen, you wake up every morning and you try your best for that day. If that's all you could do, that's all you can fucking do.
Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it and not
really
getting too caught up in things.
It's really crazy that there's a stand-up page here. And one of the guys on there asked, he goes, it's Monday. You probably got on stage this weekend. What did you learn? And I go, I used to ask Lee that all the time, no matter how high we were. When we did the Ice House, any gig together on the way home, I'd ask you and Eric, what'd you learn tonight? I want you to think about what you learned. So that stays in your mind. Then when you go home, you write something different. And I was sitting there today and I'm like, wow, where did I learn that from? And I had to think for a minute and I thought of you because you once told me you had a couple different podcasts going. And you're like, these guys can't get it together and they're professionals and they have degrees and fucking all this money. But the only guy that's consistent is a felon, And I remember when I was doing comedy about 3 years. I met this comic named Rick Kearns. The reason why we attracted to each other is because he was crazy like me. Gambled, drugs, and just loved getting on planes and doing comedy anywhere. He would do any fucking gig. He was very funny. He was one of those guys that was funny 100% of the time because he was just naturally funny, And when I moved back to Boulder in 94, I was very fortunate. I got to work with him a lot, and I got to work with another master of writing, Todd Jordan. Todd Jordan was very professional. He was the HBO Comic of the Year.
Oh, shit. I remember the name, but I didn't know he won that.
Yeah, he was a special writer, that dude. On the other hand, Rick came in 4th in San Francisco comedy competition that year. He was very hot, but at the same time, he was very crazy. Rick is fucking 100% crazy and 100% heart. I haven't spoken to him since the pandemic started because he called me up when I moved here and he wanted a loan. And I'm like, I'm not working. He just didn't want a small loan. He wanted a big fucking loan. And I'm like, I don't have that number. I just bought a house. We didn't have it, Lee,
Right.
He got mad at me and I've been thinking about him ever since that, we all go through different things. He ended up getting the money and it worked out for him and stuff. And he's doing well now. God bless him. But Rick was fucking crazy. So let's say we had a gig at 8:00 in Wyoming.
Right.
Right. He would fucking either take a bus to me and I would meet him in Boulder at 5. And the first stop was at a liquor store.
Oh, okay.
He'd get a Gatorade. He'd get a big Gatorade and a bottle of vodka right there on the road. He'd throw the fucking Gatorade out. He'd leave 2 ounces of Gatorade and he'd pour the whole bottle of fucking vodka in there. And we'd drink it on the way up. And then we'd stop and get another one. And somebody always brought powder to the show. And it was just, but on the way home, no matter how fucking high we were, he'd always go, what did you learn tonight? And I'd sit there in awe because I didn't think I learned anything. But at the end of the day, you did learn. And you learned a ton of things. Not to talk to the manager. You just learn little things. But what did you learn on stage? And even though, listen, when you kill, you learn. And when you bomb, you learn. That's what's great about fucking comedy. That you learn both ways. You're going to learn something about yourself. You're going to learn something about yourself. I felt really bad for Joe Coy a couple of weeks ago. Because again, it was people criticizing him that didn't know the art of comedy. And then somebody made a joke about that he flipped on the writers. He said, hey, I didn't write these jokes, If that was any other situation, that's a very funny line.
Right. It's as a stand-up, it's very funny.
It's very funny, but on TV and in front of those muckety mucks, it's not a funny line. And then the press ran with it and whatever. But it's really funny he didn't write that. Like he wrote that on the spot because he wasn't doing well.
And he was trying to get out of it.
And he was trying to get out of it. Any comic could see that. He did great considering the fact of where he was. He had just forgotten where he was. We perform, we work for years and you build an audience. And every time you do a show, it's your fucking audience. When you step out, yeah, it's very weird. So when you step out, that's why I fucked up, but I wanted to feel that before I shot the Netflix special, I was going to the fourth wall and I was going to Flappers. I should have been at the store in hindsight, but I wanted to work differently. It was a different, I didn't want people to see me. I had a bunch of reasons why. I forgot why I brought this up for the story, but it was just, I don't know.
You were talking about like what you learned.
Okay.
And the recurrence type.
I learned that I should have done it at the store. I should have worked on my special at the store, sharpening it, even though they were an audience that was familiar with me. The reason why I was going to Flappers in the fourth wall was to go in front of an audience that wasn't familiar to me. I would do the fourth wall first to get the wording down, and then I would go to Flappers in front of a show that had nothing to do with me. It could be a Polish show, and I'd go there.
Right.
And I'd go up, and out of the 30 people in the audience, one guy would go, Uncle Joey. The rest didn't know me from fucking Adam. And that's enjoyable because you could really test your material.
Right. I can see that. And that's you were talking about Joe Coy and his experience. You felt bad for him because of what happened to him at the Golden Globes.
And guess what? Even though he's a 10-time millionaire, even though he sold out the Garden, he learned something that night. He learned something himself that night. So whether it's good or whether it's bad, you're going to learn something. And Joe Coy's been doing comedy, 25 years? He's a fucking veteran.
Have you ever had it? Because that happened to me a little bit this weekend. I had a better show, and we talked about what days they were, but my better show was in front of people who didn't know me. It was kind of strange.
Lee, because you sold it. When I would go up in front of an audience that knew me, I could use both podcasts I go on, the podcast with the church and Rogan. I had so far to my realm. It's like living in Seattle and then moving to California. You lose 10 minutes of material because you're talking about Seattle. A geological site, a fucking, a fucking street corner, a certain restaurant. You went in front of a mall. What goes on up at that fucking airport, SeaTac, whatever. So you lose material. It's the same with that. It's the same kind of concept. That's why I said to, keep writing. It's so important to, after your show, to keep writing, and before your show, to tune up your set. I don't really think you should start, it's exercise it. Always do some writing exercises. Write about a situation in your first grade. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I used to write the weirdest stuff just to warm up. So I wouldn't sit there with a pen in my mouth.
Fuck, that's an interesting way to start.
Okay.
You said that before to just start writing.
Why am I going to sit there with a pen in my mouth for 45 fucking minutes, doodling? Athena calls, my wife calls, mom calls, and you're sitting there the whole time with a fucking 45 minutes.
Right.
By the time you get to the hour, your hour 15 deadline, you started getting hot the last hour. But for that,
the last few minutes.
But if you got there right off the bat, opened it up and just went into a story, any story, I don't give a fuck. How long do you want to sit there with it? And maybe that story, now let's turn that funny. And you start scratching words out and putting words in and blah, 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 blah. Lee, it's fucking amazing. It's really fucking amazing.
And I listened to what we talked about it a week or two ago about watching yourself, and I really don't like doing it, but I've been trying to do it. I have a phone that I record on now, and I noticed for some reason the Friday show, I just had my hand on the stool for like a good portion. Like, and it looked like not like I was scared, but it didn't look as confident as like if I don't know why I was touching it. It was just like, it was just something I don't really. I know that's where I noticed my energy was down when I was watching it because listening to it, it wasn't as noticeable.
You learn a lot from tape. It's tough to watch, but you'll improve a lot faster. I really believe that. If you look at, I mean, listen, I don't want you to go to Mike's fucking snack shack and tape your open mics at and get upset with yourself. You opening for Josh, you did what you did on Friday and Saturday. You know, that's when it's worth it for you. So you get an honest reaction from the audience, and it's you working under pressure.
Yeah.
When I go to an open mic, do you think I sit here and write before the open mic? I go there to actually put a gun to my head, to make me say shit, to make my mind work instead of why sit there with the pen in your mouth.
It's also like how long did it take you to get comfortable to do 45 to an hour? To go from 25 to an hour?
What do you mean?
I noticed that I was focusing a lot on my set list and the order of things, similar to when I started doing 20 instead of 10.
All right,
now when I do 20,
let's focus your set down to a 30-minute set. Before we could do 45, you're going to do 30 minutes. The education you got from that was actually doing the 45. And it's not easy. Nothing bothers me more than when somebody goes, I did 45 last week. Yeah, at a fucking bar. And you're not a headliner.
No.
You could call these club owners and tell you're a headliner. And somewhere along the line, you're going to crash because you don't have your feet under you. Trust me when I'm telling you. I've seen it 1,000 times. And it might be so devastating at the third year that you don't recover from it. Those are the guys that quit right there.
Yeah, after they bomb for 45? Yeah.
No, they go up and think they're going to do 45, and they go into the wrong room, and they eat a bag of dicks, and they don't know how to get themselves out of it. And that's 45 minutes to get yourself out of. If I MC and I bomb, I only got 10 minutes to learn my lesson. If I feature and I bomb, I got 25 minutes to learn my lesson. If I headline and I bomb, you might as well fucking trade places with Jesus. It's the same amount of time. They're going to kill you in a fucking hour. So this is why I don't like that. I want people to understand. And guess what? This is one of the things I never did because I knew headlining, like being a feature, like being a host, is an art. All three of them are distinctive fucking arts. And yeah, you're young now. You're a new comic. They're going to tell you how to read these ads. And they actually fuck with you when it messes with your material. But there's one day you're going to figure out how to read the ads in your jokes.
Oh, as a host.
As a host.
Right.
You know, they're not going to sound like ads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming next month, Cheech and Chong. The month after that, Tony Tanuja. The month after that, Joey Diaz. Nobody cares. They're drinking. They're drinking. Why are you hitting them with 3 dates? Let's focus on Cheech and Chong. And we'll come back next week and fucking vote on Jimmy Tooch. But for right now, let's focus on fucking Cheech and Chong, all right? You just learn shit. You just learn shit from being there. These little things that you just pick up. You know, so when you attack a MC spot, the owners of the clubs are going to be there. You usually feature Lee. But tonight, there's no feature spot. But the guy that runs the club, he's got 18 clubs. He's going to be there tonight. This is like stealing for you. You don't go, well, I'm going to feature. I'm usually an MC. Shut your mouth and make the best of what you got. You're an MC tonight. You got 10 minutes to rock.
Right.
So I suggest you write that fucking set out. You got a minute to greet them and welcome them. Maybe go into some crowd work. Maybe. Are you pregnant? Thank him. Happy birthday. And then from there, bam. At the 7-minute mark, stop and do a fucking whatever ads he wants you to quickly, like it's part of your material. and then you attack the last part of your set like a fucking manic, like they just gave you fucking smelling salts up your asshole, and then you wrap up the mic. You got that last minute now, and now is when you go. I'm going to bring up the next guy, but don't forget, next week is Cheech and Chong. 2 weeks from now is Lee Syatt. Blah 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 blah. Coming to the stage, the very funny Lee Syatt. Now the guy that the features also have to look at his style. What is my style? Is my style high energy? Is it low paced? If it's low paced, if I'm high energy and you're slow paced, you're actually going to do, I don't know, 30 minutes of material in 30 minutes. I'm going to do 45 minutes of material in 30 minutes.
Just joke. Just
breathe. Watch your next target. Unleash. Watch your next target. Unleash. Talk to them. Let them catch their breath. Bam. End it one last time. So it's all a strategy, Lee.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm hoping, what I'm looking forward to improving, because I don't have, like, I do try to, like, I have a set list and I think it flows okay, but it's just, I thought about because I would ask you sometimes, like, there was a difference between you doing 20 minutes at the store and doing a headlining. Like, you would slow them down a little bit, and that's what you told me. Like, you would be like, they can't, I couldn't do that for an hour straight.
It's an hour, so you have to slow it down. I only got 45 minutes of material. So I know I could rock them 45 heavy. What I'm praying for is for something to happen. Because I'm praying for some chick to say, I love licking ass, or, some crazy chick in the audience, and then you run with it.
Yeah,
that's what you're praying for, and you will get it. Because your material.
Did you ever struggle running with it?
You what?
Do you, like, because I'm just thinking, when you're saying run with it, like, crowd work or reacting to something, like, I can react to something and go into material. Reacting completely improvised, it's not that I don't do it, but it's not very long. It's like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Did you ever die doing that? Like, or were you always good at that? That seems like something you probably were pretty good at.
The problem, I started improvising by mistake. I was a house MC at a fucking restaurant, and I had to be there every Tuesday. And the first 2 rows were the same fucking people every week. They came in to get the prime rib for $15.99.
Right.
So after about 2 months, I was in my beginning stages. I said, I can't keep doing this with the same material. So I would write the whole week. I would come up with 5 new minutes every week, then 7 new minutes. And I remember there was a time I was doing 10. And it was because I was doing crowd work. And I got into a bad habit with crowd work. And then I got into the worst habit. I moved to New York. And this is the town of, hey, where you from? Oh, you a truck driver from the Bronx? What do you sell? Ovens? Fucking, it just went on and on and on. And then I went somewhere and a club corrected me and they said, you can't do that here. And he goes, I know you can do it, but I don't want you to do it because I want you to work on your material for the next time you come here.
Wow.
And then you get really good. You know how to improvise and take it back to your material. Then improvise and take it back to your material and improvise. So I always like when people learn how to improvise. Like, once you get stand up down for 2 years and you're comfortable, go off the limb a little bit and learn that realm. And then after a while, you'll find your whatever. For years, I thought I was funny if I didn't write one up there. Guess what? I had 40% good sets.
Wow. And when you, at that point, were you taking like an improvised something and turning it into a joke, or you were just?
No, I was just trying to improvise. Go up there and talk to the audience.
Wow, that's crazy. Even to me, having 40% good sets doing that is pretty fucking high.
No, you want to be at 80, 90%. You want 1 bomb out of 10.
Oh, well, yeah, but with material, yeah. But if you're going up there with no plan and just being funny off the cuff and in front of an audience?
Well, I was doing a lot of that shit at the Seattle Underground on Mondays and Tuesdays. Jeez. But then when I wanted to work Harvey's and all those other clubs, they were like, Got to do material, man. And there's some people who are really, really, really good at it. But you'll see after a while that, I don't know. I mean, Jeff Ross is good at it, so I could be really wrong. Hollywood just doesn't react to it after a while. Not Hollywood, but just there's too many people doing it. I don't want you to ever get in the habit of it, but I want you to know what you're doing. Real quick, let me talk to these people about BetterHelp. I'll be right back, Lee. All right. See, I don't even know what we're talking about, Lee. Sorry to interrupt you, but I had to tell these beautiful people about BetterHelp and how they get a little help every once in a while. Shit happens and talk to people.
Absolutely. You were talking about improvising, but like I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you've ever dealt with this, like the wrong reaction to your jokes. Like some guy was very nice. He came both nights, but I'm kind of self-deprecating is my style. And like he was like he would laugh, but he would also go a lot. And it was like it's not something I knew how to deal with. I don't know if anyone's ever like had a weird reaction, like a little wrong, not the reaction you were looking for to your joke.
Was it his face or was he talking?
He said it a couple times. He wasn't rude, but he would just like that was his reaction. I think he just liked me.
No, he was fucking rude. He was rude. I'm not going to sit there and analyze each of your fucking jokes. He was rude. And next time, don't pay him no fucking mind. Don't even look at the motherfucker. Look at him one time and then look the fuck away from him, because those people go out to ruin your night. That's some fucking snobby dude. That's some snobby dude that nobody invited him to dick. Not even his mother invited him over for dinner because he's so fucking annoying. So now he's going out of his way to break somebody's balls who's trying to do something with their life. It's like when I shot the thing in Chicago. That fucking kid, you kick him in the fucking face. I mean, it was horrible. He was hammered. He did not want to be there. And he was jealous that his girlfriend wanted to be there. Dog, she was 30 years younger than me. I'm not going to hit on her. And she didn't want to. She just liked that whole group. There was a ton of girls I spoke to on the road that came with their boyfriends, and they were the primary fan. It wasn't a lot. It was a lot of, that's why I always brought a woman to open for me, because I had a lot of guys that would come. A lot of women would buy tickets for their boyfriends. And I got three guys going up. I got the whole room filled with women. So I would have a woman go up before me so they could get something too.
Right.
But every once in a while, it's a woman who wants to come. She watches Rogan. She watches whatever. She knows what's going on and she wants to hang out,
And yeah, but I remember that couple fighting in your special. I can't believe that happened.
It was horrible. It was fucking horrible. And there was a point where I was ready to fucking kick him. I could not believe that you work so hard all your life to get a special for somebody to pay attention. And tonight is the night. Some fucking drunk shithead wants to come and ruin your night because she bought tickets for herself, but he didn't trust her. So he said, I want to come. Why would you want to come if you don't like him? Well, because, and they come. I learned that when Rogan was on Fear Factor. That was one of the openers. I saw that a lot. It was a table of girls and there'd be one husband. That fucking loser. And he'd be sitting there glaring at you, hating on you. Well, what'd you do? Instead of fucking getting caught up, you just looked into the audience and made them laugh their ass off. So he hated you even more. You want his wife to go, isn't he funny? And for him to go, boom. So that's how you work those dudes. Don't even look at them. Do your show. Be as funny as can be. And after a while, if you pay them attention, they're going to keep doing that.
Right.
Somebody's talking to you and you don't talk back to them, they're going to eventually stop.
There was one time that I saw you deal with it's probably like the best dealing with a heckler I've ever seen. It was similar. We were in Denver, and after every joke you did, this woman went, "Yeah," and you just didn't react to it. Like now, like she was not hiding it. She would laugh, but then she would like just do "Yeah" like after every joke. And I don't think you said anything. I don't think you said one word to her. I was like, Jesus Christ, how does he handle that?
Listen, first off, when you're young, you want to battle the audience member.
Right.
A bad habit to get into. Unless the guy throws something at you, a knife, a bottle. Listen, they go, I like the shoes. Whatever. If you get into it with them, you're going to get hot. And the audience didn't pay there to see you get mad or to see you shut down. I shut down a heckler for 20 minutes and say everything. I don't go to your job and knock the dick out of you. It's the same shit. So I decided one day, don't say nothing to them. They go away on their own. And after a while, the laughter dulls or something. And after a while, security just throws them out. They're either drunk. I saw one time when Joe was on Fear Factor, we did Brea. And do you remember the doorman at Brea was a real muscular guy?
I think so.
A headed guy that was bald and he looked like a fucking door. I don't know if it was Brea or Irvine.
Was it La Jolla?
No. It was an improv.
It wasn't La Jolla? Okay.
No, it was an improv. He was a big guy. You could tell. I mean, this guy probably ate a box of steroids a day. He even had a heart attack years later. He lived, but he lost all the weight. He came to an improv and he was walking with a cane. I mean, it was bad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was fucking big at one time. A little too big. And he was tough. And I opened up. It's probably online. God damn it. Even when I turn the phone off, I get these fucking things. I don't understand.
I'll figure it out for you.
Yeah, I got to turn it off on the computer. And now, all day, I don't hear from these fucking losers. And now at 8 o'clock at night, they want to fucking be my friend. Get the fuck out of here, stupid motherfuckers. So when I got up there, this guy was already being a problem. He was being a problem when Ari was up there. Ari was opening, and I was the feature act. In fact, if you go online, you'll find the video. It's up. Somebody taped it, and they attacked me for going off on the guy. And it was probably that tape that made me go, I get it now. Instead of arguing with them. And then I would see other comics get into an argument with, and it just shuts the show down.
Right, it does. It's awkward.
It conflicts the show. Now you got to work from zero again. Now I'm in the bottom of the grave. And I got to dig myself up to the top. It's whatever the expression you use. But I remember I went off on the fucking guy. And finally, Joe went up and he went after Joe. And that's when it got ugly. I mean, the security guard came and choked him and he was yelling police brutality and they beat him up outside. And as I walked outside, the wife looked at me and she goes, this happened like 6 weeks ago at a different comedy show. Then why would you bring it to another fucking comedy show?
Jesus Christ, he goes to different. That's one thing. I normally don't get like heckled, but I don't like that. It's just a crazy thing. Some comics invite it, and I don't get it. Like that's like my worst nightmare. I don't want to get heckled.
Look, everybody's different. Everybody's looking for a different. Like I said, what did you learn tonight? What did you learn tonight? I learned that I went after a heckler and he left, and I'm better than Think about, is this business or is this a fucking rap? There's a thing called whatever, that challenge. What's it called? They used to do it at the store where you tear each other up upstairs on Tuesday nights.
Roast battle.
Roast battle. Go to a roast battle.
I actually had that written down. Have you ever done like roasting jokes?
No.
No? Okay.
No. I think it's always been fucking stupid. I don't want to get into a fucking argument with nobody because they're going to take it somewhere and then I'm going to take it somewhere and it's not going to be fun for either for him or for me. Maybe I'll say something to get under his skin or he'll say something to get under my skin because there's a thin line. You know what I'm saying? There's like a thin line. And then somewhere along the line, I remember years ago, they were doing a series about that. Mm-hmm. I was fucking Ralph. If you look at early Ralphie, he did a series.
Oh, okay.
Remember where I think one of the girls, Jody, went off on Ari because of his nose and shit? I didn't want to do it. I didn't get it. I don't like roasting celebrities. Not that Comedy Central always asked me, but I didn't like doing that shit. No roast. I like stand-up. I'm a stand-up fucking comic. You know? That's it. It's that fucking simple. And that's what you define as you're getting into the business. You know, when I did the podcast with Joe, I told him, I said, there's going to be a time when I just want to do stand-up again. There's not going to be any podcast. There's not going to be any acting for like a year or two. I just want to write and perform 10 minutes a week, 20 minutes a week, just to see what it was like to put all your attention into stand-up, you know, with the social media and the videos and everything, somewhere along. And I told Joe, even with the sponsors, somewhere along the line, you forget what you got into this for. This is the reason why years ago, 30 years ago, Bill Hicks went after fucking Jay Leno. And he said that Jay Leno should get a gun and shoot him, stick it in his mouth and shoot himself and blow the back of his brains on the NBC Peacock. You know, and you think about that. I remember going to Houston one time and a bunch of young comics were like, oh, fuck that, man. You do commercials. Like, I got an addiction. I got to feed this addiction. Money at $100 a set. You know, I don't have a rich mommy and dad like you motherfuckers driving up here with new Jeeps and shit. You know, it's different for everybody. I didn't do commercials because I wanted to. I did commercials because they fucking paid, and I got insurance out of it. You know, I really enjoyed doing movies and TV, certain projects. I really enjoyed.
When was the last time you did only stand up?
1997.
Fuck.
So from 91 to 97, I didn't get headshots till 95. Never.
Just focused.
Just focused on stand-up. Writing, stage. Writing, stage. Writing, stage. There was nothing else. There was no distractions. And that's why when I'm writing this book about stand-up, I have to make it clear that you could take all the pictures with funny comics that you want. You go to all the award shows. You could do all the shortcuts you want. But at the end of the day, all they're going to give a fuck about is the one thing. Because once that gets up, then everything else gets noticed. You know, and some people have a lot of success with videos and stand-up. You know, Eric Alessandro is great with that stuff. I love Eric's videos. Have you ever watched Eric Alessandro's videos?
I don't know if I have.
He makes the best videos any comedian could fucking make. Really? That kid's going to end up a big-time director someday. Comedy is just a stepping stone for him. If he doesn't direct in 10 years, he's going to be, in 15 years, he directs a big movie. That's going to be his path. He makes these little videos that are tremendous. And he's getting popularity from them, and he writes, and he performs, and he goes on tour, you know. But it's some people, I don't want them to get, I see a bunch of comedians at my level, that came like 5 or 6 years after me. They're trying to go to award shows. They hire a publicist, and they go to all these Latino women and this and that. Look, that gets you nothing, because the people that go to those things are all looking for the same thing, a fucking handout. But if that's what you think your career should be doing, what would you rather do? Go do 3 sets in LA or go to an award show and sit there and dream of being next to Brad Pitt, you know, and hopefully get into the back or go to a party? Yeah, you could pay your publicist $3,000 a month and she'd get you those. You're not going to get into Elton John's party.
Right.
But you get into some kid that plays, you know, I don't know, one of these fucking terrible shows, and he's like the 8th lead. he'll have a party and they'll let you in there. You know, it's just so weird what it became, what I saw, the waste. You know, I enjoyed just doing stand-up, but I enjoyed podcasting. I really fucking did, you know. Now it's going somewhere different all of a sudden. You know, it's changing. It's going to shorter podcast. It's, you know, so it's very interesting. Even for you and me, sometimes I sit there and I go, it was completely different when we started. It was different, you know. And now the people got in it and they just, I don't know. It's weird now. Everybody's got a podcast. And I ain't mad at nobody. It's the way it is, but it was a different market when we got in. There was only 10 drug dealers on the block. Now there's dealers everywhere. There was only 8.
Not all of them.
Huh?
I was going to say not all of them, but like some of the biggest podcasts are by famous. Like there was no, like the most famous person who had a podcast was Kevin Smith when we started.
Yeah.
Like that. And now fucking Bateman, like there's so many podcasts like, hosted by movie stars. And it's just this week I'm in Vancouver at the House of Comedy with Josh. He's filming a special.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm doing shows on Friday. He's filming on Saturday, but I'm going up on Friday and Saturday at the House of Comedy in Vancouver.
You have shows on Friday?
Yeah. And Josh is filming a special on Saturday, so make sure you go to that one.
2 shows?
I think so, yeah.
Good. See, that's the other thing now. Comics have freedom again with specials. Everybody wanted a Netflix special. Everybody wasn't going to get a Netflix special. You know, a lot of people didn't. And it stopped people from growing. They're like, I got to shoot a special. I'm waiting for Netflix. Shoot your own shit. Break it down to 7-minute routines. You know, it doesn't have to be That's what's great now. You could shoot one of these with a fucking iPhone. Straight on you. Connect yourself to a mic. Get your buddy to come down with the soundboard. You want it to sound. I want it to sound like Richard Pryor. One of his albums or fucking, you know, something by Paul Mooney early. You know, I want it to sound like a Red Fox. I don't want it to sound like everybody makes their shit sound today, because then you're not different. You're the same fucking, you know. It's a different world, my friends.
It is. And you're going up on Wednesday, you think, if her recital gets over?
Well, Tuesday's the recital, tonight.
Got it, okay.
So tonight it's 6:30. I think it starts at 7. You know, we're not going to get out until 8:30. And then 8:30, if I drive an hour, I'm walking up to go do a set at an open mic and bump people or whatever. I don't want to do that. I want to get there early, talk to some of the comics, you know. I don't want to get there in a rush like I'm Johnny Goomba and just, you know, would you like to go on stage? No, I came here to fucking call my...
Oh man, I love it, buddy. It was good to talk to you.
It was good to talk to you, man. And we'll talk tonight or tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Talk later. All right. Have a good night. Thank you, brother. Thank you for watching the show tonight. To check in with Uncle fucking Joey and Lee Syatt. See you cocksuckers next week. And now for the ad of the week.